Hello, my name is Shauna Anderson, and I'm a graduate student at Liberty University in the American Christian Heritage course for this semester. And I just want a few minutes of your time to talk to you about someone who's really interesting that I got the opportunity to learn a little bit more about this week, Mary Dyer. Now, the article that I'm going to be talking about today is by a woman named Myles, and it's titled From Monster to Martyr, Representing Mary Dyer. Now, Mary Dyer was a good friend of someone you may know, Anne Hutchinson, who was famously banished from the Massachusetts colony for her preaching as part of the Free Grace controversy in the 17th century. Anyways, Mary Dyer was good friends with Anne Hutchinson and was actually banished alongside her at the same time. And her banishment has to do with attending Anne Hutchinson's meetings and sharing her faith in the same way that Anne Hutchinson had. And when Mary Dyer gave birth to a stillborn, deformed child, consequently delivered by Anne Hutchinson, who was her midwife, the Puritan leaders of the Massachusetts colony, including John Winthrop, took that opportunity to declare that this child was divine punishment for Mary Dyer and Anne Hutchinson's spiritual deviance. And both of them were banished from the colony, and Mary Dyer was held up as an example of the dangers of the antinomian controversy. And after she was banished from Massachusetts the first time, Mary Dyer and her family would travel back and forth. They did go to England. They went to Rhode Island. The third time that Mary Dyer re-entered Massachusetts, she ended up being executed. Well, during her trip to England, she had happened to convert and become a Quaker, and she would actually become the only woman to ever be executed as a Quaker, which I thought was quite interesting. Despite her husband's pleas with the officials of the colony to excuse Mary's inconsiderate madness, as he called it. Anyways, the modern discussion of Mary Dyer has made her more into an early example of women's resistance to these unjust laws and manifest institutions of power. Anne Myles, in this article, argues that Mary Dyer has earned her place in American history scholarship as a female dissenter and an example for future feminists. And one of the things in particular that Anne addresses in this article is her closeness with Anne Hutchinson and how Mary Dyer was willing to sacrifice everything for her very good friend, and how this really spoke to Anne, who was struggling as she was writing this article with her own self-identity as a lesbian and as a Quaker. And I found that very interesting, that we can find that kind of message in these situations from thousands or hundreds of years ago and apply them in ways that are meaningful today. So according to Myles, Mary Dyer's place is alongside Anne Hutchinson in our scholarship, and while Mary Dyer has a tendency to have been pushed to the side a little bit, it might be time to bring her out into the forefront and maybe study her story a little bit more. And I really enjoyed learning about her this week, and I hope that the last few minutes have inspired you to maybe dig deeper into her story as well. Thank you.